All right, happy Sunday, everybody. Hopefully, you had a good Saturday. We've got a 16-game slate. We had the Twins and the Red Sox get postponed, so we will have a little doubleheader action today. But before we get into that, there will be an NFL video coming out here in a little bit. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on so you don't miss a video. I appreciate it. Let's get into the recap. In full transparency, I was helping a buddy move, so I didn't get to see any baseball yesterday whatsoever. But we had a good day. 3.25 units. Real nice day. Reds first five, sweat free. Detroit, Baltimore, both teams to score 3+ runs. Baltimore helped us out in the bottom of the ninth, scoring 2. Ended up being 4-4, and they lost 6-4 in the 10th inning, which sucks because we were on Baltimore. Dodgers raced to 5. They ended up getting beat 6-3. It is what it is. Padres run line, sweat free. Braves and Astros first 5 minus a half, sweat free. Cincy, Baltimore, Minnesota. We really just needed Baltimore to win because Minnesota got avoided. That didn't happen. Cleveland ended up losing, and Milwaukee lost. And then we hit the Atlanta run line, New York, and the Mets. So good day, man. 3.25, we'll take it. 8-6 overall on the picks. A little disappointing. I mean, it's a solid day. 8-6. We'll cover all the metrics here probably next week, but we're having a just really good year picking teams. Props, we went 2-1. Scherzer didn't start. Obviously, the Correa game got canceled. 1-1 on Nerfies, but really solid day. Let's get into hot and cold. Hot batter matchups. We got a couple guys hitting well off Hunter Green, who is making his first start back in about a month. A couple guys hitting well off Griffin Canning. A couple guys hitting well off Andrew Haney. Cold matchups, several that are cold against Haney, several that are cold against Senzatella, but you really can't look into that much because we're talking about a pretty extended period of time there. Hot pitcher matchups, Bassett versus Tampa Bay, Meatball McGill versus Philly, and Griffin Canning is cold against the Astros. All right, bullpen review. Just a couple here. The Rangers had to throw a lot of arms because Scherzer didn't end up starting, so it ended up being Dane Dunning. But you can see they had 3 guys that threw basically 30+. Pennington was 27, but he had threw 40 on Thursday, so won't be pitching today. We won't see Chafin. We won't see Leclerc. So you got a decent amount of guys that won't be available today. You've got, Gearson, who threw 2 out of the last 3. You've got David Robertson, who has thrown 3 out of the last 5. So a little bit of concern with that Rangers bullpen. The Reds, not that they have issues, it's the opposite. They have stomped the Pirates, so they have not had to use any halfway decent arms. So their bullpen is in outstanding shape today. They have basically all their top arms available, whereas the Pirates have had to use some because they've been getting blown out. Red Sox. So I put Red Sox and Twins here because they have the doubleheader. So both teams will kind of have to see how they use their bullpens in Game 1. The Twins weren't in great shape. We look, Cole Sands had gone 3 of the last 4. Louis Varland had gone 3 straight days, so if he pitches today, it would be 4 out of the last 5, so probably won't see him. Their closer, Duran, had gone 3 out of the last 4, so if he pitches today, that would be 4 out of the last 5. So just some, we got to see how that bullpen shakes out. So I really like whoever wins to Game 1. Hopefully the Twins, hammer Pivetta. Red Sox have to go to their bullpen early. Then I would love the Twins in Game 2. Vice versa, if Lopez gets rocked early and they have to go to their pen, I like Red Sox Game 2. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. Standings, really important on a Sunday, especially with all these teams that have clinched. Teams like the Guardians, the Phillies, the Brewers, even the Yankees, Dodgers, like how many people are they going to rest? I would, just be really cautious. Make sure you look at confirmed lineups. It is Sunday. People will be sitting, so we can see a lot of craziness today. Let's get into this card. So first game, Twins and the Red Sox. Pablo Lopez, Nick Pivetta. We already talked about this game yesterday. The only thing that's changed is Pivetta is pitching against Lopez, not Crawford. Crawford's going to go Game 2 against Zebby Matthews. So, Lopez, 4.02 away ERA. Pivetta, 4.3 home ERA. We already talked about Lopez, 2 games versus Boston. Okay ERA, sub 4. We look at Pivetta. He has pitched against this Twins team 3 times. Not great. 9.0 career ERA. All of those were home. Now, that said, that's 2019, 2021, 2022. So it's been 2 years since he's pitched against this Twins team. If we look at Pivetta, 6 earned runs in his last 3 games, 5 earned runs in his last 3 home games. He doesn't start a lot at home. He usually starts away. So 5 of his last 7 have been away. The wind is going to play a factor today. It's a 12-mile-an-hour wind. Basically, that results in 16% less home runs. So that is kind of important for Pivetta, who has a 68% fly ball out percentage. So he is prone to give up home runs. So this does favor Pivetta, gives a slight edge to the Red Sox. So if you are looking for an angle to take the Red Sox, I think that is a good one. Pivetta shouldn't see as many home runs given up. That said, I just can't trust their offense. 152 over the last 7 days, 205 over the last 14. It's not like Boston's hitting much better, but I trust Lopez. We look at their runners in scoring position. I mean, it is just pathetic. They are .056 over the past week with runners in scoring position, 167 over the past 14, 210 over the last 30. So we've got a large slate here. That is just showing that the Red Sox they're dead. Time of death was about 3 weeks ago. So give me the Twins in this one. All right, Pirates, Reds, Skeens, Hunter Green. Should be a really good game. That said, it is primed for scoring today. The ball should be flying. It is going to be very warm, just like it has been the past 3 days. Skeens, 1.49 away ERA. Green, 3.39 home ERA. Green was on absolute fire before he had to be put on the IL. I believe with, I want to say elbow inflammation, something like that. If we look at Green, hasn't been so good record-wise against the Pirates. He's 0-3 with a 3.0 ERA versus Pittsburgh in 6 games. If we look at this year, he's got 2 games against them, 10.1 innings, 9 hits, 6 earned runs. 5 of those 6 came in Pittsburgh. So he had a rough outing in Pittsburgh. But if we look at Green, man, he was super solid before he went on the injured list. He had only given up 4 earned runs in 5 games. So he was looking damn good. Skeens, 2 games versus the Reds, both of them at home. So this will be his first time pitching in GABP. 12 innings, 8 hits, 1 earned run, 16 Ks. So pretty damn good. He's only given up 2 earned runs in his last 3 games, 5 earned runs in his last 3 away games. However, 4 of those 5 came against the Dodgers about a month ago. So he really hasn't pitched away a ton. We look at Skeens. I don't know if they're going to limit his innings or his pitches, right? It's coming near the end of the season. This game means absolutely nothing. So he's gone about 5.2 innings over his last 8 starts. It just wouldn't shock me if he only goes like 4 or 5 today. So a little concerning there to take the Pirates on that. Hunter Green's obviously going to be on a pitch limit today, but like I said, the bullpen's in such good shape. They have all their top arms available. Give me the Reds at plus money at home. If you're one of those guys that like to avoid the sweep, take the Pirates, take Skeens. But Reds are just hitting the ball really well right now. Ball is going to fly today, so Skeens is going to supply the speed. Only thing about Hunter Green is he has a fly ball pitcher in GABP. Not a great place to be a fly ball pitcher. That said, both of them, home runs per 9, really low. 0.69 for Green, 0.71 for Skeens. So we'll have to see. I like the first 5 under. It's just really, really heavily juiced. All right, Tigers, Orioles. Casey Mize going against Albert Suarez. Orioles again at -135. Tigers at plus money. It's pretty crazy. Tigers 7-3 over their last 10. Orioles 4-6. We look at Casey Mize, about a 5 away ERA. He's not a great pitcher. We look at Suarez, about a 3.5-ish home ERA. We look at Mize, 8 earned runs in his last 3 games against the Royals, the Rockies, and the Padres. 4 earned runs in his last 3 away games against the Royals, Padres, and the Angels. We look at Suarez, been struggling lately. He had a really nice stretch there where he was pitching quite well. However, 11 earned runs in his last 3 games, 12 earned runs in his last 3 home games against the Giants, the White Sox, and the Astros. I'll give you the Astros, but Giants and White Sox, 2 teams that have been struggling. So the fact that they've came in and absolutely hit the shit out of Suarez at home, very concerning considering this team is struggling to put up runs. My concern with Mize, 286 average is what he's given up to hitters. So could be a path for the Orioles to just really kind of start going nuts. I don't really want to pick a winner in this game, to be honest. I lean Tigers, but the bet we're going to take is going to be Tigers team total over 3.5. I trust that they're going to be able to hit Suarez today. All right, next game, Braves and the Marlins. We were on the Braves yesterday. Just beautiful. Absolute demolishing. We've got Darren McCoffin going up against Grant Holmes. Holmes, he's kind of a spot starter. I mean, this guy's going to go 3-4 innings. If he gets in trouble, they're going to pull him early. Braves are 2 games back of the wild card with 7 to play. They don't have time to fuck around. So they're going to treat this like it's the World Series today. We know it's the Marlins on Sunday, but they've lost the last 2 Sundays, so they've proven they are human. The Braves have everything to play for today. I love the spot. Love it. I don't love Grant Holmes on the mound, but I think that the Marlins will come out and get some runs off Holmes. We look at Holmes, 2 earned runs in his last spot start. That was 4 innings at Cincy. McCoffin's got almost a 6 home ERA, 8-3 versus Miami. We look at Holmes, it wasn't good. 4.2 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs. McCoffin, 13 earned runs in his last 4 games, 7 earned runs in his last 3 home games. Braves should come out firing, but it's Sunday. I don't necessarily want to take the Braves at minus 198. I just don't. I think they win. I'm a little nervous. So the bet I like in this one, it's going to be one of our bets. Both teams to score 3 runs. Okay. Rays and the Blue Jays. Chris Bassett going up against Shane Baz. We talked about how Bassett has a good track record against this lineup. That said, he's faced them 3 times already this year. He's 0-3 with a 5.74 ERA. So a little bit of concern there. In his 1 away start, so in Tampa, he went 5 innings and gave up 4 earned runs. So Tampa Bay has been able to get to him. We look at Baz. He is 2-0 with a 2.45 career ERA versus Toronto. Hasn't faced him in a few years. Baz, 5 earned runs in his last 3 games against Boston, Philly, and Baltimore. Not terrible. 7 earned runs in his last 3 home games against Boston, San Diego, and Houston. So San Diego and Houston, 2 tough teams offensively. This is kind of a coin toss to me. I don't know what the odds are on this one. I would cap it towards the Rays. I just think they hit Bassett. Baz has been pitching okay. That said, Blue Jays with a righty are a better team. So there is that. Pitch splits for Baz don't look fantastic. So there's definitely a path to take them. But if we look over the last 30 days, Bassett given up a 375 average to lefties, 188 to righties. Whereas Baz has given up a .086 average to lefties and a 163 average to righties. So I would say lean Rays, probably not a game you want to touch today on a 16-game slate. Okay, Angels Astros. Spencer Arrighetti going up against Griffin Canning. Canning is a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get. He is 0-1 with basically a 4 ERA versus Houston this year. 11.1 innings, 12 hits, 5 earned runs. I mean, he is kind of, you look at his last 3 against the White Sox, he pitched great. It's also the White Sox. Twins, he gives up 9. Dodgers, he gives up 1. His next couple starts, a 0, and then a 3, and then a 5. Like he's either, it's all or nothing. He's going to pitch great or he's going to tank. I think Arrighetti has some success today. His K-prop is pretty high. I think it's like 7.5, and I actually like him to go over that. So I think the Astros roll here. Again, they're trying to just close it out, win the division. So the game still means something to them. A little concerning about their split, like 179 against righties over the last couple days. Scares me a little bit, especially at minus 285. But yeah, I think they get the job done here today. If we look at Canning, he's just so hard to handicap, but I think they win. All right, this should be an interesting game. We were on the Giants yesterday at plus 200, 9-0. Wow, that means the Royals have scored, 1 run in this series? 2 runs, something like that. So it's pretty bad. They've lost 6 in a row. They are putting themselves right out of the wild card race. Pretty damn wild to see. And they don't have a good matchup today. Blake Snell, Seth Lugo. Lugo, a lot of success against this Giants team. He is 2-0 with a 0.42 ERA in 5 games versus the Giants since 2022. So he's got 21.2 innings pitched, 11 hits, 1 earned run. So 1 earned run in 5 games. Bodes well for him. That said, Blake Snell has actually really struggled against this team. It's probably one of the teams over his career that he has not had good luck with. 7.27 career ERA versus Kansas City. That said, the last game he pitched was when he was a member of the Rays back in 2019. But 17.1 innings pitched, 25 hits, 14 earned runs. Like I said, it's been 5 years. So if you're into that stuff, 5 years is a long, long time. So I really just kind of throw that out of the memory banks. We look at Snell, 2 earned runs in his last 3 games. Been pitching really well. That was against Baltimore, Milwaukee, and Arizona. So good teams. 3 earned runs in his last 3 away games at Baltimore, Seattle, and Oakland. I lean Snell. Like, you got to back Snell. I like the first 5 under, but again, like ridiculously juiced. So we'll have a play, but we'll have to kind of dance partner that up. But we'll talk about that. Snell giving up a sub 100 average to lefties, 149 to righties over the last 30 days. Lugo 275 to lefties, almost a 300 average to righties. So really hard to pack a Royals team that is struggling to hit anything. And Lugo's been getting hit somewhat hard over the last 30 days. So give me the Giants in this one. All right, D-backs and the Brew Crew, Jordan Montgomery and Frankie the Fade Montas. Yikes. Scary. We were on the Brewers yesterday. Man, they just don't care. I'm kind of getting the gist. They just don't care. They're playing these last couple games. It doesn't matter if they lose. So, how do you take them in this spot? Montgomery, 5.44 away ERA. That's how you take them, because Montgomery sucks. Montgomery 2-2 with a 2.70 career ERA versus this Brewers team when he was with the Cardinals. So I think he faced them 4 times. 7 earned in his last 3 games, 13 earned runs in his last 3 away games. He gave up 3 in Colorado. I'll give you a pass on that. That's actually pretty good. 4 against Houston and then 6 against Miami. Really hard to trust him here. If we look at Frankie the Fade, he is all over the place, man. He is 9 games with Milwaukee so far. He's given up 3 or more in 6 of his 9 games, and the other 3 just gave up 0. So he's either going to give up 0 or more than 3. That's pretty much what we can assess so far. He's given up 6 earned runs in his last 3 games, 6 earned runs in his last 3 home games. So he's had 2 games where he gave up 3, and then he's had 2 games where he gave up 0. So we don't know what we're going to get. Given his pitch splits look real bad. Real bad. I would say the D-backs are going to pull this out at plus money. It's Sunday. The Brewers have already locked it up. They should sit some guys. So I don't think we're going to see their main lineup today. I don't necessarily want to trust the D-backs. I want to trust them offensively. So the play we're going to go here is D-backs team total over. Okay, Guardians, Cardinals, Gavin Williams, Andre Palante. Guardians do need to win this game. Oh, actually they don't. They've clinched. I just hate this game. I hate this game. I don't trust Gavin Williams. He's given up at least 2 earned runs in 5 of 6. He's given up 10 earned runs in his last 3, 9 earned runs in his last 3 away games. That said, he faced some really tough opponents in his away games. Dodgers, Yankees, and then the Royals. At the time, the Royals weren't complete dog shit. Palante, 8 earned runs in his last 3 games. 0 earned runs in his last start versus Pittsburgh. 5 earned runs in his last 3 home starts. His ERA is worse at home than it is away. We got the wind blowing out today. Gavin Williams, 61% fly ball outs. God, it's really, I almost want to go Cardinals after kind of thinking out loud about this, but I'm going to leave it Guardians. I think they just bounce back. I don't think they let the Cardinals win 2 in a row, but I don't want to touch this game. Not a game I want to mess with today. All right, Nats, Cubs. Interesting, I saw C.J. Abrams went out and spent the night in Chicago hanging out at a casino, and so they just was like, hey, you're getting demoted to the minors because you're an idiot. And they still won, so that was cool. Jake Irvin going up against Shota Imanaga. If we look at Irvin, he has pitched against this Cubs team 2 times this year. Both games were at home, and they rocked him. 8.0 ERA. August 30th, so not that long ago, about 3 weeks ago, went 4.2 innings, 8 hits, 7 earned runs. That was when the Cubs were streaking, though. They were hitting everybody hard. If we look at Irvin, 8 earned runs in his last 3 games, gave up 1-1 and then 6 to the Pirates, 9 earned runs in his last 3 away games to the Mets, the Phillies, and the Braves. That's a pretty shitty 3 games to pitch at their fields. So kind of hard to see what he's going to do today. We do have the wind blowing out today, so that should be interesting. Imanaga, 5 earned runs in his last 3 games, 3 earned runs in his last 3 home games. I will tell you, in the last 3 home games he has pitched, the wind has been blowing in. So it does give me some concern. Imanaga, 1.46 home runs per 9, wind blowing out. Weather's going to be really good. It is prime home runs. So there's about a 17% increase in home runs today, plus 9% scoring. It is supposed to rain, though. So going to have to watch the weather a little bit, but give me the Cubs to bounce back. I do like the over. I like the Cubs team total over. I think but it's like 4.5, which is pretty crazy on a 7.5 line. So give me the Cubbies there. All right, Mariners and the Rangers. Oh my God, we're 21 minutes in. We're going to go quick. Brian Wu, he has been very hittable lately, and the Rangers have hit him up. He's got a 12 career ERA versus Texas. Pitched against them 3 times last year, 9 innings, 14 hits, 12 earned runs. So they got to him almost every time. Wu, 11 earned runs in his last 3 games. Gave up 7 against the Yankees, 2 against the Padres, and 2 at Oakland. 8 earned runs in his last 3 away games. So been extremely hittable after starting the season very, very hot. Haney 0-3 with a 5.74 ERA versus Seattle this year, 15.2 innings, 18 hits, 10 earned runs. Haney has been pitching a lot better as of late, but Seattle was in there because he faced them a week and a half ago. 6 earned runs in his last 3, 3 earned runs in his last 3 home games. I don't see a path to take the Rangers here. It's Mariners or nothing for me. I think Wu does okay. You could maybe look at the over 7.5 if you trust that the Rangers can hit. I do not. So maybe you could look at like a Seattle team total over if you think Wu is going to get hit. All right, next game, Yankees at the A's. Luis Gil going up against Joey Estes. Gil 3.18 away ERA. Estes a sub-3 home ERA. That said, he's struggling a little bit. He's given up 12 earned runs in his last 3 games. 2 of those were away. 7 earned runs in his last 3 home games. Most recent start gave up 4 to Seattle, then 2 to Milwaukee, and 1 to Tampa Bay. So he's been pitching more away than he has home. They haven't played Milwaukee. It's been several weeks since they were at home playing Milwaukee. So give me the Yankees in the spot to just complete the sweep. I think Luis Gil has himself a decent day today. All right, Rockies and the Dodgers. Not much to talk about here. Dodgers are going to beat that ass unless they're sitting a bunch of guys. It's the only thing I would check first because if you're going to pay minus 155 for the run line, but if they're going with their starters today, I'm probably laddering this, and I'm going to do a run line bet. I'm going to do a 2, a 3, and a 4. I think they return the favor today and just absolutely destroy them. Next game, White Sox-Padres. It's White Sox-Padres. Yu Darvish is on the mound. Run line. All right. Twins and Red Sox game 2. Really hard to handicap game 2 without knowing what happens in game 1, but you got Zebby Matthews, Cutter Crawford. Talked about Crawford yesterday. He has not been pitching great. He's lost his last 6 games. Got a 6.5 career ERA versus the Twins since 2022. Zebby Matthews, 7 earned runs in his last 3 games, 7 earned runs in his last 3 away games. He's going to give up some runs. That said, we've got the wind blowing in. That's going to help Crawford. Crawford, 67% of his outs come via the fly ball. His uptick has been really high in home runs per 9. It's also going to help Zebby Matthews with his 2.70 home runs per 9 innings. So really don't know. I mean, I would probably just go Twins to sweep the series because they desperately need these 2 wins. Last game on the card, Phillies and the Mets. To me, this is very lineup dependent. The Phillies have nothing to play for here. Highly, highly likely that they sit their starters. If they do, I'm probably more on the Mets side, but I would probably just take the over 7. I think the Mets hit Wheeler a little bit. I think the Phillies should hit Meatball McGill. Why touch this game on a Sunday? a lot of better options out there to play with in this game. So really want nothing to do with this game. But like I said, if the Phillies are bringing all their bats, I would go Phillies and I would back Wheeler. If they're sitting a bunch of starters, I'll go Mets. All right, park stats for today. You can see home runs are going to be down in Kauffman Stadium, minus 23%, up 36% in GABP. So I think that's why we're seeing a Skeens and Green matchup at 8. Runs plus 14%. Wrigley, we already talked about that. The home runs are going to be up today. Fenway, it's going to be quite down because of the wind. So maybe you can use this to make some over-under bets or however you want to do that. Pitching for today, if you guys want to screenshot that, I just kind of highlighted the projected overs. I did 2 overs and 2 unders there. Maybe you guys can use that to do any kind of K-prop bets if you are into that type of stuff. All right, best bets for today. Keeping it somewhat light. It's a Sunday, and it's football. Most of my bets are going to be on football today. We're going to do Atlanta and Miami to score 3+ runs. We did this bet yesterday with Detroit and Baltimore. Let's run it back with these two teams. Give me the Diamondbacks over 4.5 runs at plus money. Like I said, game the Brewers don't really care about. Diamondbacks need this win. So I like the over 4.5. I think they hit Montas. And then give me the Tigers team total over 3.5. I don't trust Albert Suarez. I don't trust Casey Mize. So I do trust that the Tigers are going to get to Suarez. 3.5. Take it. Parlays. Give me the Pirates and the Reds and the Giants and the Royals to both have their first 5 under 4.5. A little scary with that Reds game just with the wind blowing out so much. And it's going to be hot. Ball's going to be flying. Pair those two together, plus 155. And then give me the Dodgers and the Padres on the run line. Houston -1. You could do all 3 teams on the run line if you want. I really don't. I don't hate just doing Houston run line as well. I think that's just the scarier game where we could see it not be a run line win. And then the last one's going to be the Twins, the Cubs, and the Yankees, all on the money line, plus 314. Fun parlay. We're going to do Cincinnati and Pittsburgh under 8, Arizona, Milwaukee over 8.5, Seattle Yankees money line at plus 880. Upset parlay, Reds, Tigers, Diamondbacks plus 773. Prop leans for today, Frankie the Fade over 2.5 earned runs at minus 105. Acuna, not Ronald Acuna for the Braves, but his brother, who is playing on the Mets, over 0.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. We just need him to just do anything. Minus 135. Trey Turner over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at minus 130. Eugenio Suarez over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at plus 115. And then Luis Gil over 15.5 outs at minus 115. Nerfies I like today, Pittsburgh and Cincinnati minus 140. Minnesota and Boston minus 140. And San Francisco KC minus 140. I would probably just avoid Nerfies today, for being honest. I don't like paying minus 140 for Nerfies. Anyway, that is going to do it. Like I said, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. You guys have been crushing it on that. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And put the NFL video out here shortly.